rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious.
Because the Lord is going to restore everything. You're going to have a total different vibration on the earth, a total different smell. You're not going to be walking down the street and smell shit and piss, and no foul odors or nothing like that, because the lungs of the earth are going to be given back to it, which is all these trees and all of these flowers, and it's going to be a whole total different vibration. You're going to see the aura and how things are going to change and how elevated things are going to be. Our senses are going to be heightened. Everything about us is going to be glorified.
For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence of infinite of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old. But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build, and another inhabit. They shall not plant, and another eat. Whereas the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Lord.
The Lord said that on the Heavenly Father's right hand there are pleasures evermore. And it says that I have not seen, neither ear heard the things which the Lord hath prepared for them that wait for him. There's a whole another world of greatness that awaits us when the kingdom of heaven is established. It's not seen in this society. In this society, we only see carnal things that reason offers in this society. But when the kingdom is established, the Lord is going to open us up to a whole nother world, of pleasure, of knowledge, of wisdom, understanding, can't even be put into words, because our imagination only goes but so far.
Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds. All right, in the name of Yahweh Bashem Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shah. All right, and what I want to get into today, is how, it really works. Okay, how it really works. And what I need to do is add something else to the title, going into, how the shadow government, okay, which is ran and funded, all right, by the elites, okay, how they really run, the governments of the earth, Okay, especially here in America, which is America, the top government in the earth at this time, due to its military might, okay, and its economic, control that it has, being, the nation that has the world reserve currency. Okay, so um, when you go into, the American government, all right, which people, they still in the simplicity, of America being ran by a democracy. Okay, which that's the farthest thing from the truth. Okay, America is ran by elite banking families. Mainly the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Okay, as we're going to go into these things. So it's people in their mind. Matter of fact, I think the brother just logged in. If a brother can get that in uh what's that, Proverbs 14:12? How the simple believe every word. Okay, so this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. It said, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Okay, spiritual wickedness in high places. Matter of fact, I want to get that in the blue letter real quick so we can go into, all right, the principality. Okay, so you read this in Ephesians 6:12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world." Okay, and you don't see the true rulers, okay, of this age. Okay, they're not being inaugurated. Okay, they're not having, these fake elections where you vote for them. Okay, they're not in the Senate House. Okay, or your governors. No, the true rulers of this world are in the shadows. Okay, and they rule, all right, through this banking system, which keeps everyone in debt. Okay, and they have these think tanks that make policies, all right, for these different governments, man, especially here in America, which we're going to get into a few of them. Okay, some things I was looking at today. But when you go here and it says, "And against spiritual wickedness in high places," okay, and you don't see those high places. Okay, you're not going to see, all right, the true rulers, okay, at a UFC fight, okay, or at a college, football game. All right, Texas versus Oklahoma. You're not going to see them. Okay, they exist in the shadows. All right, now there have been, the Lord is exposing everything about Esau, Edom. Okay, we know, all right, how they operate. All right, so you go here, and they heavy into the left hand witchcraft. Okay, psychology. Let's get this word here.
Strong's G 746. Arche.
Okay.
Arche.
Okay. All right. Would you go into the beginning, the origin? Okay. It says the person or thing that commences, the first person or thing in the series, the leader. Okay. Trump is not, okay, where the buck stops. Okay. He's on the bottom of the totem pole as it comes to the hierarchy of Edomites that really, all right, run this thing. Okay. You see, the true leaders, all right, are the super rich, okay, and elite bankers. Okay. All right. It says the first place, principality, rule, magistracy, all right, angels or demons. And we know that they're tapped in on the left hand, okay, through demons, man, through witchcraft. Okay. And they rule the earth, okay, through the left hand. You see? And as they present, this facade, this illusion of freedom, okay, which you go here, just the brother I now, Proverbs 14:15. "The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man look well to his going." Okay, and the simple are the masses, because even if you think you're woke, okay, you're right, conservative, You know, you think you're woke, you have a few, morals and principles, and you think you're woke. No, you still are under the umbrella, okay, of this shadow government. Okay. If you think voting is a solution, well, you're still dancing to the tune of the shadow government, all right, who manipulated the minds of the masses, man. Okay. Now I want to go here. The brother El Kazak sent me this video. I got two videos I want to get into. So you go here to this video, and this was like 8 years ago, 6 years ago, and it said must hear, Kill Cities by Rothschild and Rockefeller. Okay. So we've been talking a lot about smart cities and 15-minute cities, and Trump, he calls them freedom cities, which they're the same thing. Okay. And like we said on the previous video, people will reject, the concept of a smart city and this 15 city under the guise of being woke, okay, of being conservative, okay, but they'll applaud a freedom city on the Donald Trump, which is the same thing. Okay, there's many avenues which the scriptures speak about that broad gate, okay, that lead to to the what they call these human death zones. All right, this digital prison. Okay, so this lady, I forgot her name. It might say her name, but she's gonna just go into, how governments really work. Okay, and we'll jump around, and then we'll segue into a think tank that she speaks of called the Rand Corporation. Okay, so let's play this, and like I said, we'll jump around, and we'll segue to the Rand Corporation, which is a think tank used by the bankers to make policies for these governments. Okay.
This is Deborah Damaris. We're picking up a horrific plan that is being furthered by Rothschild and Rockefeller, as I will explain during this conversation. It's very, very important to know that everything that the corporations and the international bankers have been doing is one gigantic fraud, and it's all our expense. We're paying for all of this. The agenda, of course, as we know, is disinformation and manipulation by the international bankers' corporate structure to centralize control of all people, land, energy, resources, technologies, and economies. And we must look at the hidden secret behind these corporations and universities and institutions that are set to control all the emerging technologies that are planned to rebuild the world's transportation, civil, manufacturing, physical infrastructure with cyber infrastructure, including computers, networks, sensors, and the transhumanism agenda. Extremely important to understand that we are being transformed through the increase of frequencies. This is why when you think of UN Agenda 21, too many people using too much stuff, you have to understand this is a genocide program. We are being moved now into what they call resilient cities. And it's important to get this word out, start looking it up, resilient cities. Understand what this is. This is a plan brought in by Rothschild and Rockefeller. And I'm going to go over what resilient cities are and how they're coming in. It is diabolical and exactly what you're facing right now and likely unaware. But I'm first going to read you a press release from the Rothschild Global Advisory. It says Rothschild and Company names Homer Parkhill and Stephen Antonelli as co-heads of restructuring
And see, people are so caught up, okay, in the theater of Kamala Harris and Biden and Donald Trump and Obama and the different, all right, the office of presidency, which is a revolving door, okay, and people get so caught up into those things, all right, but no one knows, all right, Homer Parkhill and Stephen Antonelli, okay, as co-heads of reconstructing in North America, which includes what? Canada and America. Okay, why you think Trump is calling Canada a state? Okay, he's taking orders. Okay, you don't know Homer Parkhill and Stephen Antonelli. You know Trump. Okay, doing their little crazy ass dance, signing orders. Okay, holding his mouth in a circle. All this crazy shit. But you don't know Homer Parkhill and Stephen Antonelli, the people that Trump answering to. Okay, Trump answers to the people that answers to the people that answers to the people. Okay, that answers to the other people that answer to the other people that run the world. Okay, this is how this works. Okay, so these two men have been tasked, okay, by the bankers to reconstruct, okay, North America. Okay, and these men don't go through elections, okay, or they don't see them on Twitter making comments. Nah, these are the men with true authority and power under the elites. Okay, so let this play.
North America. They plan on restructuring North America. The new leadership better positions the firm's restructuring practice for the future. Rothschild Global Advisory, one of the world's leading independent financial advisory groups, has announced it has promoted these two men to co-head the restructuring of North America, effective immediately. This press release is dated out of New York, October 30th, 2017. They say that they have been part of the senior leadership of the firm's restructuring practice for many years and will continue to be based in New York. They have announced these promotions, and the head of Rothschild North America said, in looking at our priorities for building the business in North America, the leadership of Rothschild felt that now was the time to elevate Homer and Steve to this role. This is an important move for Rothschild as we ensure the firm is in a strong position in this market for many, many years to come. We are truly excited about the future this group will bring under this new leadership. They go on to say that over the past year, Rothschild has taken significant steps in strengthening and expanding its presence in North America. Rothschild announced that Chris Garner joined the firm as global head of technology and will lead the firm's new office in Silicon Valley. So what we are seeing is the announcement. Rothschild & Company, of course, is a family-controlled and independent business, bankers, that has been at the center of the world's financial markets for over 200 years.
All right, and Rothschild & Company own America. Okay? Just like, all right, you can own, you see a car. Okay? Well, these people own America, Rothschild & Company. Okay? That's why you have positions like the president and vice president, the same position that you have in the company. Okay? Because America is a corporation. All right? And it's been used as a system, to put the earth in debt to the banking families, through the dollar. Okay? And as they put these nations in debt, these nations, all right, begin to be all right, subservient to these banking families, and they're able to push, okay, policies, okay, through the government. That's why, you had, I think there was Maya Amschel Rothschild said he doesn't care who, you know, who's a nation leader. Just give me money. Just give me control over a nation's money supply. Okay, because if you control the money supply, you control the leaders. Okay, so they don't care about who's the president or prime minister. As long as these governments are in debt to these banking families, okay, they control the policies. Okay, to forward their corporate agenda. Okay, which is a global agenda. Okay, of forever servitude of the masses, man. You see? So let's play some more.
So they are set to restructure North America. And I don't believe that any one of us wants Rockefeller and Rothschild to restructure North America. But they have plans to do that. And we're going to talk about how they are luring our cities, our communities, all the corporate boards into this resilience program that they're bringing in. Now, again, before I've talked often about the climate action plans, which are, of course, sustainability plans that promote desired agendas. This is backed by the RAND, R-A-N-D Corporation. The RAND Corporation is behind the government policies. I know that many of us scratch our heads when we hear our elected officials say, we believe at least they're elected officials. We all need to understand that we have a corporate government takeover. We do not have a government. Well, people will say, well, there would be anarchy if we did not have a government. Well, we have a corporate facilitator globally, and part of it is through the RAND Corporation. Now, I'm jumping from climate action plans just to read something that is absolutely critical on page 11 of the Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars is a declaration of war against the United States and all global human populations. It is a genocide plan. So here is what it says again on page 11. Since energy is the...
All right, so she spoke about what, these banking families have waged a silent war, okay, against the masses. Okay, that's why it's death, okay, infused in every facet of society, okay, from food, the music, the culture, okay. Drill cultures, it shouldn't be a culture, but who funds, okay, the music industry, Hollywood, okay, the video games, okay, fluoride, and the toothpaste and chemtrails, okay, the cancer, causing, chemicals in the food. Like who's doing these things? Okay, the feminist movement, the crack epidemic. Who's doing these things? Who's making these things possible? Okay, who's able to make the U.S. government stand down as they flood America with drugs, flood the inner city with guns, and then flood the TV, okay, with the instructions of what to do with the guns and drugs. Okay, there's been a silent war waged on the masses, especially Jake. Okay, it's been emphasis on the destruction of Jake, but it's a silent war raged, okay, by the elite bankers. Okay, your government is a puppet. Okay, they might, handle a few of the day-to-day affairs of running, society. All right, but the direction and the vision and the policies and the concepts comes from these elite banking families through these think tanks, okay, that they have operating as a shadow government, man. Okay, so let's let some more play.
The key to all activity on the face of the planet. It follows that in order to attain a monopoly of energy, raw materials, goods, and services, and to establish a world system of slave labor, it was necessary to have first strike capability in the field of economics. In order to maintain Rothschild and Rockefeller's position, it was necessary that they have absolute first knowledge of the science of control over all economic factors and the first experience at engineering the world economy. So they go on, in order to achieve their sovereignty, the elite's sovereignty, they must at least achieve this one end, that the public will not make either the logical or mathematical connection between economics and the other energy sciences or learn to apply such knowledge. So with that having been said, I want everybody to pay close attention to how they are maneuvering these strategies through our country.
So it's all about controlling the Earth's economic system. Okay, because as we said, Proverbs 22:7, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Okay, and this is what their rulership is based on: the rich ruling over the poor through economics, and the borrower, okay, which this is economic system of debt. Okay, you know, this is an economic system that thrives off debt. You see, the FRN note, the American dollar is a debt note that's backed by nothing. Okay, you're just paying off debt with debt. Okay, and it's meant to keep people what? Forever slaves. Okay, money with no true value. All right, so let's rewind it some more. I want to play that part again, but it's based on people, okay, being in debt forever. Okay, and the elites being the middlemen, okay, to all the true resources and rationing out the true resources as they heap up the resources to themselves and give people these Federal Reserve notes, which these Federal Reserve notes are going digital to a digital credit. Okay, and you're gonna have to depend on them more for real resources. Okay, which keeps the masses in complete servitude. Okay, to the bankers, man. Okay, let's run it back a little bit.
Absolute first knowledge of the science of genocide plan. So here is what it says again on page 11. Since energy is the key to all activity on the face of the planet, it follows that in order to attain a monopoly of energy, raw materials, goods, and services, and to establish a world system of slave labor, it was necessary to have first strike capability in the field of economics. In order to maintain Rothschild and Rockefeller's position, it was necessary that they have absolute first knowledge of the science of control over all economic factors and the first experience at engineering the world economy. So they go on, in order to achieve their sovereignty, the elite's sovereignty, they must at least achieve this one end, that the public will not make either the logical or mathematical connection between economics and the other energy sciences or learn to apply such knowledge. So with that having been said, I want everybody to pay close attention to how they are maneuvering these strategies through our country. through the vehicle of the RAND Corporation. And we have to first understand that the word consensus is a format that is presented by trained facilitators to come into each of our communities in all levels of corporate government setups, because we have been now taken. We're no longer the country we believe, and many people sadly still believe we have. Many people still believe that voting changes things. It doesn't. We're run by consensus. We're run by groupthink. What does that mean? Well, I tried on many occasions to join citizen advisory boards here in Northern California. There was one caveat, that I would have to agree on the majority of the decision being made. In other words, if I or a couple of other people did not agree with the direction of the understanding, we would have to be quiet and go ahead and agree anyway. So we know that groupthink is made to conform to popular opinion, and we get overpowered by the most energetic people.
Yeah, she mentioned the word consensus. All right, well, we're gonna go back to that video, but when you go here to the word consensus, all right, and this is how the elites operate. Consensus goes into a general agreement. Okay, like-mindedness. All right, agreement, concurrence, consent, oneness. Okay, major opinion view, common opinion view. And this is what they do through their media, through their music, through their movies. They create a consensus to where most people agree on a particular thing, and it becomes a culture, okay, or it becomes a law or a standard, okay. You see, a man only having one woman, well, that's not where is that? Okay, why is that a law? Well, it's a consensus because the masses, okay, are in agreement to it. All right, due to what? His pushing of movies, okay, the music. You see, those people in the land claiming to be us, those small hats claiming to be the chosen people. Well, that's not proven in the Bible, okay, but most people believe it because of consensus, because of majority opinion, of majority of viewpoint. Okay. And see, this is why this word is such a threat to this man's new world order, because it's undoing the major consensus that he uses to run the world. Okay. People celebrate Christmas, a pagan holiday that goes back to child sacrificing, you know, it's pure wickedness. Halloween, well, they celebrate these things based on what? A major opinion, a general opinion or viewpoint. Okay. You see? So a lot of culture, a lot of laws of this society is based on consensus, not what's right. Okay? Not what's the truth, but a consensus. And he can form a consensus through what? His media, let's say his TV, his movie, his music. You see? His propaganda. Well, it has people in unity. Okay? So these governments, okay, are ran by consensus, which is what you call group think. And they get the masses to group think. Okay? You see? So people that don't have, that don't understand government or economy, okay, but they root for these particular, candidates, presidential candidates, and be emotionally invested in them based off of consensus, what the group thinks. Okay? You see? So this is why, in fact, let me go here real quick. All right. Even when you go to Yahushua, he said that in Luke. All right, I believe it's 16 and 15. It's the book of Luke, chapter 16 and 15. And it says, and he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but the Most High knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of the Most High. And see, the Bible is anti-groupthink. The Bible is about truth. The Bible is about a law of wisdom, right and wrong. Okay? That's why scriptures say, follow not the multitude to do evil. Okay? Let me see. Okay, Yahushua talked about what we talked about earlier, the broad gate. Okay, which we get, brother can get that. That's Matthew 7 and here you go. Yeah, Matthew 7 and 13. Somewhere around there, but brother want to post that. Exodus 23 and 2. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment. Let's get that in another translation. All right. This is in the NIV. It said, do not follow the crowd in doing wrong, the consensus. Okay. The consensus, through consensus, he made, all right, alphabet culture normal. Okay. Through consensus, being, single mother, he made those things a norm. You see? The woman, this thing called dating, which is really just, a whore. Okay? He made these things the norm through consensus. Okay? The crowd was doing it, which made people comfortable doing it because the crowd was doing it. Okay? It says when you give testimony in a lawsuit, do not pervert justice by siding with the crowd. Okay? So the Bible is not about groupthink. It's about being right. Okay? Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they didn't go with the groupthink because you had all those Israelites bowing down to the image of Nebuchadnezzar. Okay? But they didn't. They stood in righteousness, man. Okay? Being the thug, a street nigga, there was a crowd thing. There was groupthink, consensus. Okay? And this is how this man runs his society on every layer. It's not about what's right and wrong, what's truth. It's about what he can get the crowd to agree with. Okay? And people fall into order based off the groupthink. Okay? And this is what we're going to go into. I'll play a little bit more of this video. This Matthew 7 and 13. This is brother Anat. It says, enter you in at the straight gate. Okay, and this is the gate we on, the gate that we're on, because it doesn't agree with the groupthink of this society, with the consensus of this society, which is completely anti-Messiah. Okay, it said, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. You see? The consensus, a lot of people, okay, their decision making is based on groupthink, on the consensus, not what's right and what's wrong, not being led in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, but of groupthink. Okay? Hey, the devil, it's deep, man. And brother, if you could post verses 3, 4, and 6, Bible Shah. 3, 4, and 5, and 6, yeah. verses 3 through 6 in this Psalm 64. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay? And see, these secret counsels, people have no clue of that these secret councils operating in the background that control the policies, okay, that run the earth, that run your government, from your local government, okay, to the federal government, okay, to international government policy, man. Okay, so let's play a little bit more of this, and then we'll segue to Rand. Okay, well, she's going into Rand now. All right, let's go back a little bit. She's gonna start speaking about Rand now.
On the majority of the decision being made. In other words, if I or a couple of other people did not agree with the direction of the understanding, we would have to be quiet and go ahead and agree anyway. So we know that groupthink is made to conform to popular opinion, and we get overpowered by the most energetic people. Groupthink destroys a good thing, as we have been told when we look at the definition for consensus. They say consensus is the middle ground in decision-making between total assent and total disagreement. Consensus depends on people involved having shared values and goals, and on having broad agreement on specific issues and overall direction. Consensus implies that everyone accepts and supports the decision and understands the reasons for making it. So that was the criteria that we are being told if we attempt to get on a citizens advisory board, which is to lure all of us into believing that we have impact. We don't. This is a very stealthily woven web of deceit and how we are being maneuvered in every single city and every city agency throughout the country and the globe. And what I want to talk about is what we're seeing here right now in Sonoma County, Northern California, after this horrific fire that we've all had to endure.
Yeah, so that's the point on that one. You know, she goes into some more things, you know, it's about another 30 minutes, you know, 25, 30 minutes left on that video. I put it in the comment section and you can watch the rest of it. So I want to segue into what she went into with the Rand Corporation. Now, just to sum it up, I got a clip on them too, a few minute clip with them and what Rand, all right, which goes into research, analysis, all right, and research, analysis, and data, I want to say. But when you go into Rand, it started off as a think group for the American Air Force, okay, dealing with weapons technology, okay, and how to distribute resources, for weaponry and what weaponries, would be best, going into the way that war was going to be fought. Okay. And this was put together, Rand was put together, all right, after World War II. Okay. And it was a think tank for the American Air Force, but it evolved, okay, into a political think tank for the elites when it came up to running governments in a way and controlling human behavior. Okay. So it evolved into something much more diabolical, okay, and manipulative, okay, for the masses, man. Okay, so let's go here. All right.
The combination of this unwavering belief in American superiority and the perceived threat of enemies abroad served to polarize things at RAND. Moderate voices were not only sidelined, but were driven out, leaving the hawks in charge. Now, we'll come back to that in a moment, but first, a bit of background on the approach RAND had to its work. In the very early days of the think tank, much of the work was focused on mathematics, physics, and other quantifiable analysis, nuts and bolts kinds of things. However, it did not take long for RAND to start to take a more ambitious approach in its analysis by wanting to take into account the human factor, or how to account for human decision-making. To that end, social science and economics divisions were established, and the best and brightest minds from across America were recruited to come to California and get paid to, well, think. Tools like the prisoner's dilemma and game theory were popular at RAND as they provided a framework through which employees could game out scenarios, using logic and rationality as the key deciding factors in any given situation. Rational decision-making was seen as the key to all human decisions, with RAND thinkers basing their analysis on the unchallenged idea that people, that human factor, will always make a rational decision. Systems analysis, the antecedent to policy analysis, which would be instituted by Robert McNamara at the DoD during the Kennedy administration, had its own roots in this as it looked to, quote, identify its goals and purposes and create systems and procedures that will efficiently achieve them. First developed in 1947 by RAND engineer Ed Paxson, systems analysis differed from operation research, what had been done during the Second World War, by changing the question being asked from what can we do with what we have to what do we want to be able to do and what do we need to build or invent in order to achieve that goal.
So as you can see, all right, that these think tanks, went from being engineering weaponry, okay, being focused on engineering weaponry and how, money, should be spent, okay, into the psychology of the people, what they call the human factor, okay, in which they will control, okay, the way people think, all right. And the brother just sent me a picture, okay, that kind of sums up, okay, these think tanks and what they did for the masses, okay, the unpleasant truth and the comfortable lies, okay. And matter of fact, if a brother can get that in Isaiah 30 verses 8 through 10, and if a brother could get 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verses 8 through 11, Baba Kashah. Isaiah chapter 30 verses 8 through 10, and 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verses 8 through 11, Baba Kashah. Okay, and this sums it up, the way, all right, these think tanks manipulate the masses through government policies. Okay. You see, no one wants to deal with truth. Everyone, okay, would rather, all right, be pampered and in these comfortable lives. Okay. So, I want to get a few words that he spoke on. All right, because you have social science. Okay, what is social science? So you look that up. Okay, it says social science is the study of how people behave and interact with each other and their environment. Okay, it includes a wide range of disciplines such as psychology, sociology, economics, and political science. Okay, so these devils are highly invested in the psychology of people. Okay, not for the betterment of people to put, to govern, all right, and spend resources on creating environments where people thrive. No, they want to manipulate the masses to think how they want them to think. Okay, that's why they're such against creative thinking. Okay, this school system, okay, is more of a conditioning and teaching you what to think, okay, and how to think, than allowing you to be creative. Okay, this is what this devil uses. These think tanks come from, and this is why he has these colleges and these, these prestigious colleges, and okay, because pretty much that's his breeding ground, okay, for the world's next, think tanks. Okay, he fine combs, these colleges, and gives away these degrees and grants and recruits. Okay, these colleges are major recruiting grounds for the small percentage of people that are the think tanks for the masses. Okay, and you go here. All right, this word he used, what's the other word he used? System analysis. Yep. Okay, system analysis, and this is when you're going more into the AI, the technological systems that he's putting in place. Okay, it says system analysis is the process of studying a system to identify its goals and then developing ways to improve it. It involves gathering data. Social media, okay, is a major form of gathering data, interpreting information, and identifying issues. The goal is to create systems and procedures that are efficient and meet the needs of the users. Okay? And this is what the elites are in the background, okay? Because they tell their think tanks what they want. And they think tanks, all right, find out what will be the best way to come about, okay, the goals. It's the elites that identify the goals. And the think tanks go get it done. The elites finance and oversee, okay, and dictate what they want to be done. But it's these think tanks, these scientists, okay, and engineers, social engineers, okay, these high level, social, scientists, okay, they gather the data, okay, to come up with a system, okay, that pleases the elites. And this digital banking system, okay, is their big project that they're working on. You see? So let's get here. Let's get a few precepts. All right. And we can end it also with 2 Corinthians chapter 4. All right. Verses 3 and 4. Okay. This is the brother Anah, Isaiah 30 and 8. Okay. And it goes into, it says, now go write it before them in a table and note it in the book, that it may be for the time to come forever and never. And we have these things recorded in the book. Okay. For what purpose? You see, as the brother got raising the elect 144, verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah. And it's speaking of Israel. Okay? Well, Israel has become, we was all victims of the enchantments, okay, of the elites of this shadow government. Okay? That was heavy into enchanting the masses, these psyops, verse 10, and it says, which say to the seer, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Okay, and our people love that deception. Our people love that consensus talk. Okay, the black woman is God. Okay, black economy is the way. You see, they love the talk of the consensus. We should go vote. You see, You see, they just love to talk of the consensus. All right, but they don't want to deal with the truth. And why? Because our people have been conditioned like that. And unless, Yahweh Shah breaks that enchantment, okay, as the scriptures say, brother could get that too. Get in the NLT, 2 Corinthians 10:4, as we read this. This is why this is a mighty work we're doing, because it breaks the enchantments, okay, of Esau, Edom, okay, to where, hey, we can operate in the light. You see, 2 Thessalonians 2:8 says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay? And this is what we see happening now, the wicked Esau, Edom being revealed. And how he's being consumed with the spirit of the Lord's mouth is through the prophets. And it's going to lead up to the physical destruction of this man's empire, all right, through Yahweh Shah. Okay, the brightness of Yahweh Shah is coming in those chariots, all right? It's the brother Anah, 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, and it's mainly through his technology, man. And it's gotten to the point now to where people's livelihood depends on, people's existence depend on this man's technology, man. Okay, whether people run their businesses with this man's technology, people, okay, the way people store food, okay, the way people, depend on purchasing for everything, okay, that this man has done has made people dependent on him. And see, these think tanks come up with these systems to make people dependent on this devil, man. Okay, and people were tricked into these cities. Okay, a lot of people sold land, to come to the city based off the allure, okay, of these cities and the convenience that the city provided. Okay, you best believe that those think tanks in the background, all right, systematically came up with policies and marketing to do those things, man. Okay, verse 9, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, this man moves in the energy of Satan, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And this speaking of Israelites, man. Okay, they refuse to snap out of it. But if it wasn't meant, ain't nothing can be said or done. They was meant, okay, to hate the truth and love lies. Okay, verse 11, and it says, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Okay, and our people are programmed to just go with the consensus. Okay, their mind is set up to just roll with the consensus, man. Okay, so it's why you go here. All right, the brother Anah, 2 Corinthians 4:3 said, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Okay, so this good news, as we come with the good news, which is not a popular message. Okay, the consensus doesn't agree with our gospel, the good news, which involves the true children of Israel waking up to who they are. Okay, but we know only the elect are going to do it. Okay, it involves, the heathens being removed from power through war. Okay, us being changed, becoming immortal, spiritual powers, abundance and wisdom, abundance and wealth. Okay, the good news. But this message is not a consensus message of this society. And our people are programmed. All right, as you go here, verse 4, it says, in whom the God, 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the God of this world, Esau, Edom, okay, beginning with the elite bankers, okay, because of the influence that they have over the masses, by the banking system, man, and his enchantments, man. Okay, and it says, "Who have blinded the minds of them which believe not, least the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach." Okay, who is the image of the Most High should shine unto them. Okay, so our people are blinded by the guys of this world, Esau, Edom. Okay, so you go here, and we'll end it here. And this is why this, the teaching of His word is a mighty work. Teaching of the word is not a chore. Okay, or something to check off a to-do list. No, this is a mighty work, man. Okay, this is doing a mighty thing in the earth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim al-Shah. 2 Corinthians 10:4 in the NLT, it says, "We use the Most High's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy false arguments," man. So this word going forth, okay, is pulling down, all right, the human reasoning that was formed, okay, by these think tanks in the background, okay, that made it seem cute to smoke a cigarette, okay, to make it seem as if it was a standard to eat, biscuit and sausage in the morning and call that breakfast. Okay, I just recently learned, a few years ago, that breakfast goes into breaking your fast. When we thought of breakfast, we thought about the morning meal. Okay, that big morning meal that clogged up your digestive system. We didn't know that mean this was the meal you ate to break your fast. Okay, and Esau pushed that to sell more meat. All right, to sell more of their pig mainly, man. Okay, and it's just one of many things that we was taught to reason in the off way based off what? Consensus and group think. Okay, and it says to knock down the strongholds of human reason. Christianity is just a concept agreed upon, because there's no doctrine in Christianity. It's all over the place, but it's just a group think, all right, religion that a lot of people agree upon. Okay, that's why it's not scripturally rooted. Okay, but the masses just believe in that concept of Christianity. Everybody can be saved. Okay, the concept of what Jesus stood for. Okay, not what the Bible said He stood for. Okay, and see, the truth is knocking down these strongholds and human reasons and destroying all false arguments, man. Okay, the truth is making the consensus, the group think, look foolish, man. Okay, so so yeah, that's the point. Just want to go into a few things, man. Something I was watching today. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters was edified. All right. So once again, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful. Shalom.